Hello there, welcome to UBC News Tonight. Today on the 6th of October 2024 with me Sharon Chomdisha and Mugalu Mohammed on sign language. We start off with President Museveni, who has appealed to the youth to engage in wealth creation to fight unemployment. Now, the president made the remarks during an engagement with student leaders from public universities on Saturday who expressed willing corruption.
There was a correct diagnosis.
President Museveni on Saturday met with key presidents of students from public universities in Uganda who expressed commitment to join him in the fight against corruption in Uganda.
And appreciate.
If you really have a point, come and we discuss, we can solve this.
Media and politics are not just intertwined, but we're very symbiotic in nature.
In his address to the student leaders, President Museveni advised the youth saying such a position is not right since the government has limited jobs in the public service.
Where do the jobs come from? It seems one of your people is saying there are many rooms in my father's house. That means he's stuck to the idea of government being the one to give jobs. But this is not a correct position, because how can the government have jobs to employ all these Ugandans? Because you know the jobs, the government jobs are well known.
Mr. Museveni also urged the youth to differentiate between development and wealth creation.
All these roads we are building, they belong to everybody. And we can keep on pushing the development of infrastructure. But if you don't grasp the issue of the difference between development and wealth creation, in our local language it is even better, because the development is enkulakulana, but wealth is obugaga. And we always advise you that what comes to your house is obugaga, not enkulakulana.
President Museveni informed the youth that Uganda is moving forward despite a few challenges like corruption.
Yes, there is corruption, there is no proper distribution of wealth, but the economy is growing. Why? Because of a correct analysis.
He explained that the country is progressing because of the correct ideology of the National Resistance Movement government.
The source of jobs is wealth creation. The majority of the jobs must come from wealth creation. The youth, if you say just youth, you are not going to go very far. You better understand the political economy of society.
President Museveni is at the forefront of fighting corruption.
I would want to advise you that if you really want to make a contribution, study ideology. It's good that you want to go to Chankwanzi, because it is in Chankwanzi where they take you through what we call political economy.
However, Mr. Museveni informed the youth that the government saved their lives when it stopped them from demonstrating during the planned march to Parliament protests. He explained that some opposition-bad elements who work for the foreign interests were planning to claim it on the government.
Policymakers are not in contact and all that. That the youth are marginalized in short. They are not cared about. But we were aware of all this.
The State Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Honorable Balumbarugahara, thanked the President for entrusting him and Colonel Edith Nakalema to mobilize and bring harmony among the youth.
Thank you very, very much for entrusting us with work, and we should pledge not to disappoint you. The annual meeting for these youth leaders. Wunsa, like you heard, Okot is a brilliant man.
Your Excellency, the youth group of our population constitutes the backbone on which our economy must rely to drive socio-economic transformation with innovative ideas. May I therefore take this opportunity to commend Your Excellency and your government for pressing the interests of the youth at the core.
In more stories, Prime Minister Right Honourable Robina Nabbanja has called on students across the country to remain resilient and focused in order to achieve success in their lives. Speaking at the St. Edward Secondary School Day celebrations in Kakumiro District, Nabbanja shared her personal journey, emphasizing the importance of perseverance in overcoming challenges. Kasoha reports.
Prime Minister Right Honourable Robina Nabbanja urged students not to be swayed by the circumstances, concentrate on their studies for a brighter future.
For us, we used to come here on bicycles, and for them, they would come in a bus. But here we are, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda, who used to come on a bicycle. That's why I should request that you, the students who are here, what you are going through here, are we together? Is not your choice. The design of God, that you go through all this so that you can develop that resilience. Okay? And don't even bother. What you must do is to know why you are here.
Nabbanja commended the Brothers of Christian Instruction for their contribution to Uganda's education sector, praising their efforts in shaping young minds.
St. Edward's Rukumi has played an instrumental role in the lives of countless students, including myself. You are lucky. Count yourselves lucky to have come to this school. And please love your parents more.
She also encouraged students to remain committed to their goals, stating that resilience and dedication are key to success. The Bishop of Hoima Catholic Diocese, the Right Reverend Vincent Chirabo Amoti, who led the Holy Mass during the event, warned that Europe may face consequences for tampering with nature, urging the youth to be God-fearing and uphold values for a sustainable future.
And I fear that perhaps in the coming 10 years, Europe may not be what it is today. It will have vanished. People will have lost their identity. Because I think they interrupted the natural process. They must have done these mistakes maybe 40 years ago. And for me, I don't want to have children. I want to enjoy myself. I want to travel to China. I want to go to Japan. I want to go on holiday. The children will bother me. Families without children, and the parents were not getting younger.
Bishop Chirabo congratulated Prime Minister Nabbanja on receiving the Global Women Inspiration Leadership Award, recognizing her dedicated service to humanity.
Very grateful for the support that you gave to this mother institution. We thank you for the great work that you are doing and for your strong representation of us, Bunyoro, Buku, and the entire nation, the good work that you are doing for us.
The headmaster of St. Edward's Secondary School, Brother Njogere, expressed gratitude to the government for its support in the school's renovation efforts and for enrolling teachers on the government payroll.
Through you, government renovated the chemistry lab and physics lab. We received a tractor through your office from government. We got 100 unit sheets, very past roof, a few asbestos buildings.
He noted that the annual St. Edward's Day provides an opportunity to reflect on the school's progress and plan for the future.
The Sudan People's Liberation Movement Party Secretariat from South Sudan is currently traversing different parts of Uganda to benchmark and solicit ideas of the citizens for the citizens of South Sudan in regards to how best they can silence the guns and engage in constructive battles for betterment of their country. The team that is being led by the Secretary Dr. John Yole has met with the SPLM Uganda chapter leaders.
The bureaucracy of SPLM as a party, you need to acquainted yourself with the constitution.
The postponement of the December 2024 elections in South Sudan has continued to concern both the internal and external communities.
We mobilize our people. Our people are already here in Kampala. We have big majority in all this Kampala. They ask us sometimes.
You have witnessed the president has been calling for elections. And we have not seen the challengers from the other parties supporting that. SPLM would have made another alternative to impose that election on the people, because it would be the only solution to reduce on the number of the MPs.
It is for this reason that the government in power, operating under the seal of the Sudan People's Liberation Movement, has embarked on a process to forge possible ways for a swift transition in Juba.
The issue of elections was packed into the agreement, and we were supposed to be going for elections in December this year, 2024. And because we are actually a legitimate political party, the legitimate political party is a party that is registered and is working within the framework, the legal framework of the country. So we are registered. The parties that sign agreement with us have not registered.
With a country like Uganda now looking better and safer, despite having a state of South Sudan, SPLM has chosen it as a leading political classroom.
For SPLM, we had all along been actually propagating citizenship, not tribalism or ethnicity. But because some of the opposition parties are dragging us into political ideas, apportioning power sharing on the ethnic basis, which is not healthy, we come to learn the way Uganda does their things. So we will come and see how are they solving the and what ideological practice they have here.
Having been at the National Leadership Institute in Chankwanzi and signing a cooperation pact with the NRM party, the SPLM Secretariat has met and discussed with the party's Ugandan chapter in Kampala.
The cooperation with our General Museveni, the chairman of the NRM, we are really happy for the Ugandan ruling parties.
But much is still required, especially from the current generation. So you use these skills to pay.
It is being emphasized that all citizens of South Sudan must take lead in the silencing of the guns for peace.
We also urge the opposition who are in the Tomeni to speed up their label so that they come back, because our citizens are suffering and thirsty in search of peace.
And for our power hungry, we said, okay, we'll give you time to put your houses in order. One, for them to legalize. Second, to disband their militia groups, because they have private armies, so that these people are either integrated or in fact they are civilians, so that we don't have to go back to war again or to have crisis. It was to avoid war and more crisis that we had to extend.
Dr. John Yuwell and his team will on Monday, 7th October 2024, hold discussions with NRM in a meeting aimed at tapping into the vast experience of managing internal elections. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
SPLM Waye.
SPLM Waye.
SPLM Waye.
The training. Thank you so much, Robert Onyango. Enterprise Uganda has concluded a week-long business skillings training program in Soroti Municipality aimed at empowering beneficiaries of the parish development model. The training is part of the organization's nationwide mandate to foster positive mindset change.
Catholic Youth Centre equipped participants with essential business skills, including financial management, marketing strategies, and customer service.
The key success factors of the business.
By providing these tools, Enterprise Uganda aims to help PDM beneficiaries transform their businesses into sustainable and profitable ventures.
Business development services are not like release of credit, which you can do with a button. You just press a button like this, the entire country has. When it comes to building entrepreneurs, changing mindsets, You do 1,000 at a time, 1,200 in 5 days. That's what we're doing. So whereas the other one is a FASA program, and whereas government wants to see that FASA program taking place, you can't stop it. But that does not stop you from doing what you are doing now here. So as Enterprise Uganda, with the resources we have, we're proceeding to make sure that we make the best of a government program and create the most impactful output out of it.
The initiative aligns with the government's efforts to promote economic growth and development at the grassroots level. Soroti City RDC, who also took part in this training, highlighted that these initiatives will go a long way in helping to reach at informed decisions with regards PDM funds.
For me, my view is before a program like this one is started, a beneficiary must be identified and trained into business skills, given business skills, because the money is for business, it's not for eating. So they must be trained to do business. And after training, they must be given difficulty to come up with business plans, which business plans must be monitored in terms of implementation. When they're implementing it, they must be monitored. And the money is given according to tranches, according to the training, according to the business plans, and not given at once, but given in tranches, and that tranche is monitored, that there is a success in the whole project.
Some participants we talked to after the training promised to be agents of change in their respective communities.
We have been thinking that anybody is entitled to come and borrow in the circle, but according to the training, we have learned that a person who is supposed to borrow money from the circle, being a business that is running, so that a person is able to pay the loan.
By focusing on the parish level and providing targeted support, the parish development model aims to address poverty and improve the livelihoods of vulnerable populations.
With UNEP drawing closer, schools across the country are preparing learners for the critical period. And at St. Patrick's Senior Secondary School, Chibale, in Namutumba district, candidates are encouraged to stay focused while sitting for their final exams.
St. Patrick's Senior Secondary School, Chibale, in Namutumba district, is one of the schools in advanced preparations for the forthcoming Uganda national examinations. Students received spiritual guidance in preparations for the examinations, where special prayers are being held to strengthen them as they approach the D-Day in November. Religious leaders delivered sermons that focused on instilling confidence in the students, encouraging them to remain determined, believe in themselves, and most importantly have faith in God for their success.
We realize actually a day of thanksgiving, and it is a day of surrendering ourselves to God, who is the ultimate source of all successes, and in Him achievement originate.
Let us continue fasting in the Lord as we do our examinations, because that will began a good work in us. The Bible says we'll bring it to completion. We will accomplish it. So your work is to trust the Lord, not your own understanding, not your wisdom.
There is this saying that what an old man sees well seated, a younger man cannot see well standing. So I'm still reminding you, big self-control. Trust the Holy Spirit.
The Director of Finance and Administration at UBC, Dr. Peter Kagwa, was the chief guest. His message to the candidates was questions given and proper question interpretation as the first step to success.
I'm urging the candidates for this year that are going to sit to be patient, calm, and follow what the teachers have guided them to follow through. It is good that they have finished their syllabus was finished in time. They have gotten time to revise, and their teachers have guided them very well as their parents have tried to do their part. So now the onus is on them.
Dr. Kagwa also urged parents to utilize local schools like St. Patrick's rather than sending their children to distant schools.
And this has averted the norm of saying that students or children can only perform better in towns Like now you say Jinja, Kampala, Wakisha, what have you? Because here they are passing with high grades. How is it being done? You had them speaking very good English. You had them picking, you bring a song, like the Reverend brought a song. They picked it up immediately. So they are informed. That means the parents that are struggling to spend a lot of money should think twice and identify schools like this one.
He made a call to political heads in the district to support education initiatives in the district.
Political leaders is to make sure that children go to school, the schools do what they are supposed to do, the teachers teach according to the curriculum, and make sure that the children and the parents also comply with their responsibilities. For us as a community, we are going to support it greatly, and we are starting with this road, which the local government is saying that it is going to pass through the school. It is not accepted. It is not even for actual standards that the children will study from here, and even vehicles will be passing.
During the event, the school also celebrated the commissioning of a new A-level block, which will house a state-of-the-art computer and science.
They will soon witness the establishment of the A-level section, was offered to represent a significant milestone in our Chibai community and eastern region, whose education competitiveness has been low as compared to other parts of the region.
The Prime Minister of Busiki Chiefdom, Owekitiibwa Simon Peter Wakudumira, encouraged parents to foster a positive relationship with their children.
If you don't forgive these children, they will not forgive. You know that? Because some of you sit there and say, oh yeah, there you at a one day. Now that is a curse.
Mary Namkose, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Mary Namukose. The General Overseer National Fellowship of Born-Again Pentecostal Churches of Uganda, Dr. Moses Odongo, has observed with gracing pupils and students of Destiny Schools, Katende in Mpigi District. Muganga has a report on this story.
National Fellowship of Born-Again Pentecostal Churches of Uganda, Dr. Moses Odong, has appealed to pupils and students not to fear their final examinations. He was addressing pupils and students of Destiny Schools in Katende Village, Mpigi District. He says teachers have played their part. What remains is the students' focus and prepare to excel.
I'm here at Destiny Eagle Schools praying for senior 4s, senior 6 and senior 1s who are going, senior P7s who are going to sit for their examinations. We have prayed for them, and the message that I've given them, and I still give all of you, is that the Lord says in Isaiah that He will be with you. And when the Lord says He will be with you, that means He will be with you to help you, to strengthen you, and to uphold you. So don't fear, don't be worried. Maybe you have not read as much as you want, and there are some of your colleagues who seem to be better than you. Don't fear.
Odong commended the administration of Destiny Schools for putting up structures to facilitate a good learning environment and advised parents to raise their good morals and ethics.
I would like to thank God for Pastor Yvonne, the director of Destiny Eagle Schools. This school is doing very well. The structures are there. I can see there are many students, and I see God helping these children go from one level to another. There is proper care which I see here, and I trust that God is going to keep on working great things to take this school to greater heights.
Destiny Schools Director Pastor Yvonne Sejobio appreciated the good working relationship with parents, which has led to the be among the best in Mpigi District.
And our teachers, they have worked so hard, and we believe our children are going to achieve highly. So we thank God for that. In Senior 4, we are having 140 students. P7 we have 150, and then Senior 6. But we thank God because He's on our side and He is helping our teachers.
S4 candidates begin their final exams on 14th October, while P7 candidates begin November 2024. Henry Muganga compiled this report.
Uganda fire! Endiva fire! Our border fire! Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! As Uganda Crane showed Congo, why nobody is called a Katino? Mayuwa wa mobili Gabuli Joe! Katika Uganda Crane section South Sudan on the 11th of October. Bring more fire and support even harder Nambole. Dial star 165 star 20 hash or go to Momo app to get your discounted ordinary ticket at 20k on Momo. And it comes with a free train ride to Nambole. Cash is 25k. Camp starts at 7 p.m. The first 2 Nel special beers go for 1k each. When you buy with Momo, at MTN Gavut Day. Uganda Cranes fire! MTN fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda's football. Together, truly unstoppable.
To help businesses recover from the impact of COVID-19, government introduced a tax amnesty through a waiver of interest and penalty on our principal tax as at June 30th, 2023. Accordingly, URA has since July 2024 been implementing this waiver. To benefit, simply pay your outstanding principal tax by December 31st, 2024, and the waiver is applied automatically upon payment confirmation. This amnesty applies to domestic taxes, namely income tax, rental tax, payee, and others. Grab this golden opportunity today. For more, use the platforms displayed.
Uganda Revenue Authority, developing Uganda together.
Hey kids, we're going to count today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enjoy 5 ways to love your baby, smoothen and protect your baby's skin with 5 new gentle formulations. Original to nurture your baby, aloe vera to protect your shibubu skin, cocoa butter to comfort your pinku, mild scent to soothe your little one, and avocado to soften your bunju skin. Available in all supermarkets, retail shops, and cosmetics shops near you. Move it, baby jelly. All day confidence.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it's clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Indomie Instant Noodles is available in 3 flavors of chicken, beef, and vegetable. Buy your Indomie Instant Noodles in supermarkets and dukas near you anywhere across Uganda. Indomie Instant Noodles, Uganda's best loved noodles.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. As the beginning of 2024 final Uganda Certificate of Education examinations draw near, candidates have been advised to their revision. The youth chaplain of Entebbe Vicariate in the Archdiocese of says the Reverend Father George William Sentamu is preparing early for the exams, and people should avoid malpractices for them to be able to succeed in their exams.
Out. And you receive that an understanding that we, dear Lord, may you allow your Holy Spirit, the blessing from God. Let your prayer rise unto God like incense. Utter out your prayer.
The youth chaplain for Entebbe Vicariate in the Archdiocese of Kampala, Father George William Sentamu, has cautioned students to watch out for people with sinister motives of diverting them from their education career. He was conducting a dedication service for Senior 4 finalists for St. Barikudembe Senior Secondary School in Tenjeru, Chisoga Town Council in Mkono District. He appealed to the students to also pray for God's protection, warning that the devil is for real.
When you have God's favor, the teacher enjoys marking your paper. At times, take a wrong answer with God's favor. And you want to pray, favor of God to be upon our candidates 2024, that examiners may mark them well and score good grades. At the end of the day, they pass with flying colors. We come back here full of song, jubilating for their success. Amen. A big friends can forsake you, but never give up, because your God will never forsake you.
Just give them hope. Negative energy.
The head teacher Lydia Lukwago Kagoya said, since introduction of the new curriculum 5 years ago, the school has organized a series of retooling grounds for teachers and learners.
Teachers who are equipped and the children are well equipped. I want to thank you for the facilitation fees that you give them. Now they don't have any excuse that they can ever give. I told the candidates that if they are not ready to be outstanding, at least for the sake of them, let them do it for us.
The learners' representatives, Chiimba Dalton and Patricia Priscilla Naviri, assured parents that they have been prepared enough to sit the exams.
Here we are, ready for the first, until we are called the cohort of the new curriculum, first set. We are like laboratories, let me call it like that. But nevertheless, the school has made us ready.
I personally, I have revised my books. I have endeavored to consult the teachers so that I can pursue in the new curriculum.
Abiona Francisco, UBC.
Thank you so much, Abiona. In the first series of stories, as the 62nd Independence Day draws closer, we examine how the British came to Uganda disguising as explorers and missionaries before taking over the political leadership. As Timothy Sibasi reports, the first European to visit Uganda were the British explorers who were searching for the source of the Nile River in 1862 and later on turned into conquerors and ruled over Uganda for over 68 years. And now we have the report.
The original inhabitants of Uganda are historically not clear. This is because all current tribes that occupy Uganda are said to have migrated from somewhere. However, by the first time foreigners set foot on this land, present Uganda, there were over 30 ethnic tribes that were largely divided into three.
Uganda is now 130 years old. Before 1894, there was no Uganda. But the people who came to be Ugandans were living in Uganda. The communities which came to form Uganda were in Uganda for more than 3,000 years before.
Despite their origins and evolutions, between the 15th and the 17th century, Bunyoro Kingdom was the strongest in the region. It attacked Buganda and Ankole, defeating them before making a long sweep to attack Rwanda. This mission failed, largely because they were overstretched, and this gradually weakened Bunyoro. Buganda, which was hitherto a small kingdom on the shores of Lake Victoria, later took over as the strongest kingdom. It attacked various fronts of Bunyoro around the 17th century. However, the first colonialists picked out Buganda as a central point because of her relatively modern and organized leadership structure.
But before the British as colonizers took over Uganda officially, formally in 1894, there had come foreigners to Uganda, initially the Arabs, who came both from the north and from the East African coast. Those from the north were called Khartoumers because they came from Khartoum. And it is possible that they are the first foreigners to arrive and settle in Uganda. That is the Arabs from the north. And then you had the Arabs from the East African coast who penetrated Uganda, trading in ivory, in humans and other merchandise that the 1840s.
First Arab traders arrived at the Indian coast, penetrating into the mainland, selling guns to Uganda. Egypt was also on a mission, trying to expand southwards nearly into parts of northern Uganda.
In the 1860s, then Europeans in the form of explorers started arriving in Uganda. And we had the likes of Peak and Grant. We had Sir Samuel Baker. And then there were others like Emin Pasha who came from the north. Then you had, after Speak, you had explorers like Stanley. And after Stanley had gone, we begin having other form of foreigners, group of foreigners, the Christian missionaries.
This group was later followed by John Speak, the first European to visit Uganda, together with John Grant. The reason given is that the two were actually searching for the source of the River Nile, having encountered the river in Egypt.
There had been a conference of European powers and USA held in Berlin in 1884-1885. This conference had parceled out Africa among the big powers of Europe at that time. And coincidentally, it happened that Uganda, or what came, was a territory that was handed over by the Berlin Colonial Conference to the British.
However, given the subsequent events, the two white men were looking for much more than a water source. In 1862, about 262 years ago, the two white men met Kabaka Mutesa I at his palace in Mengo, in the present-day Kampala.
Ugandans started to take up different identities. They were no longer holding the identities they had before these people came, before the foreigners came. So now you begin having the Arabs, then you begin having Christian missionaries of the Church Missionary Society or Anglicans called Wangereza, and those of the white fathers who were from France were Faransa. So you will now begin to see a situation in Uganda when if somebody asked you, who are you? You were no longer saying, I am a Muganda of Unchimaka or something like that. You could easily say, Ndi Musiramu.
In the north, another white man, Sir Samuel Baker, walked southwards following the River Nile before reaching Bunyoro Kingdom. Unlike in Buganda, where his colleagues were fairly welcomed, Omkama Kabalega was a bit lukewarm because he suspected Baker to be up to something. But Baker settled in gradually.
When these powers came here, they started competing. We are talking about these forces, the Arab forces, the Roman Catholic forces, and the Anglican forces. They started competing for converts and who would have power and influence in Uganda. And since the Roman Catholics were from France, the Arabs from the Arab world, or the Muslims, and the Anglicans were from England, they wanted to find out, or they wanted to make sure that whoever takes on Uganda reflects their identities back home.
One of the reasons Mutesa accepted the British was that he thought they will help him keep up the ambitious Bunyoro.
The British finally pacified, in quotes, pacified Uganda and effectively occupied Uganda. And by, say, the 1930s, or to be precise, 1926, Uganda was effectively under British colonial rule. And we trace our citizenship.
There was no significant white men engagement in Buganda until the arrival of Stanley in 1874. This time, on top of the gun, Stanley also had a Bible. Mutesa accepted the introduction of Christianity in his kingdom. Hence, members of the Church Missionary Society arrived in 1877, followed by the Roman Catholic missionaries in 1879.
Now you have been the antipathy also between the Roman Catholics and the Protestants or Anglicans, where they had had wars in Europe, were transferred in Uganda.
Mutesa kept both regions at arm's length near his palace, but when he died, the conflict between religion and the political leadership became wider. In 1886, a group of 32 young religious converts were killed by his successor, Kabaka Mwanga, and these were later named the Uganda Martyrs.
Religious wars here in 1880s in Uganda, which took on the lines of those, the Muslims versus Christians, and the Anglicans and the Roman Catholics against each other.
With Mwanga obviously anti-religion, the Christians rallied forces and fought him out of power in 1889. He was later reinstated by a faction of Muslims and Protestants. According to Professor Ndebesa, religious wars were actually staged to weaken the traditional kingdoms so that white leaders would gradually take over. It was out of these religious wars that the Buganda Protectorate Agreement was made.
When these powers came here, they started competing. We are talking about these forces, the Arab forces, the Roman Catholic forces, and the Anglican forces. They started competing for converts and who would have power and influence in Uganda.
Tomorrow we'll look at the early resistance to British rule and how the 1900 agreement is the British into contra. Timothy TV.
Uganda fire! Endiva fire! Our border fire! Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! As Uganda Crane showed Congo, why nobody is called a Katiro? Mayuwa wa mobili Gamuli Joe! Katika Uganda Crane 6 on South Sudan on the 11th of October. Bring more fire and support even harder Nambole. Dial star 165 star 20 hash or go to buy ticket on the Momo app to get your discounted ordinary ticket at 20k on Momo. And it comes with a free train ride to Nambole. Cash game starts at 7 p.m. The first 2 nail special beers go for 1k each when you buy with Momo at MTN Gavut Day. Uganda Cranes fire! MTN fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda's football. Together, truly unstoppable. Uganda Manufacturers Association celebrates 30 years of industrial excellence. Come and be part of the 30th UMA International Trade Fair at Lugogo from the 2nd to the 10th of October. 30 years of industrial excellence with an education pavilion, an agricultural pavilion, and a job skills development pavilion for job seekers. There will be lots of fun, entertainment, and business opportunities. Come and be part of this great journey and milestones. Entrance fee is only 10,000 shillings. If you want an exhibition stall, call +256 0703 552 444 or visit the UMA website. Powered by Total Energies, Hisense, Smart Tech, and Stanbic Bank.
In the heart of Uganda, a financial revolution is happening. The once left out, saving the old-fashioned way, with an unexpected saving spot, keeping it too close for comfort. But now, we found a better way to save and manage money. Download the Wendy app from Google Play or App Store or dial star 229 hash. With Wendy, your money is safe and you can earn interest daily. Visit your Google Play or App Store or dial *229# to register. Wendy Wanawoli.
You're very welcome to the UBC Business segment. The Uganda Manufacturers Association launched the 30th edition of its annual exhibition at Lugogo, attracting participants from both local and international markets. Now, the event, which was officially opened by Prime Minister Nabbanja, provides a platform for the industrialists to showcase their latest while highlighting Uganda's growing manufacturing sector. Jimmy Alur reports.
The 30th edition of the Uganda Manufacturers Association exhibition was opened by Prime Minister Nabbanja last week, attracted a wide range of participants from both Uganda and abroad. The one-week exhibition provides local industries with a platform to showcase their products and introduce new innovations that many attendees may not have seen or known about. With over 500 industrialists showcasing their products, items on display include visions, lighting solutions, and more. One of the standout exhibitors is Hisense, unveiling a 100-inch television and a variety of high-tech European standard electrical products, all manufactured locally in Uganda.
We are here in the Uganda International Trade Fair, the 30th of this night. Just like we've been always exhibiting the previous years, still we are back in full gear as the board sponsors of the 30th Uganda International Trade Fair. Us being the sponsors, of course, we have high hopes and we look forward to the products, the new technology in the products. Look at the product range that we have, the televisions, the picture quality, the sound enhancement, the service, the layouts, we have the fridges, we look at the cooling, we look at the different cooling materials, we have the ACs, the smart ones, how do they cool, how do they give you this feel.
Exhibitors praised the government for availing a conducive atmosphere for manufacturers in Uganda to do business.
We were honored to have the Prime Minister of Uganda, Nabbanja, who was here to officially open up the trade fair. So it was a great experience, and yes, we were thrilled to have her. We were awarded the award of being the board sponsors, yes, that is a landmark. And you're not here just because we have to be here for humanity. No, here it's an industrialization, and we are here as a team with different game players in this. So we come here to add the value on the Ugandans and to give them back to the Ugandans that have supported us for the years being here.
Royal High Quality says the exhibition is an opportune moment to get feedback from clients. The managing director of Mega Industries, Mr. S. Megani, says Mega Industries, along with Royal Form and Atlas Industries, have contributed significantly to creating job opportunities for Ugandans. Jime Aluli compiled this report.
Amazina ganje Nyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri byo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 hash ngafuna message erikweka mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo nedi y'abafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka ngo nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Welcome back to UBC News Tonight, and in our last segment, the sports. Uganda Hippos head coach Matthias Lule has displayed high-quality optimism ahead of his team's opening fixture against Ethiopia in the Under-20 African Cup of Nations CECAFA qualifiers in Tanzania. Uganda is in Group B that is complete by South Sudan and Burundi at this 8th team Championship, from which the two qualify for the 2025 Under-20 African Cup of Nations. Take a look as John Banson reports.
Thank God that we are still alive. We reached safely to Dar es Salaam. The good thing is that we don't have any injury. Everybody is prepared for tomorrow's game.
Coach, the importance of tomorrow's game, given the fact that you're playing a side that you lost to in a campaign in Sudan, what does this match mean?
You know, each tournament you handle it differently. I cannot comment about previous performance because I was not there. But as per now, all focus is to see the way how we can qualify to AFCON. Then we know what it means by this tournament. If we don't perform well from this tournament, we cannot reach there. So we are fighting hard to see that we qualify, we come number one from this tournament and we qualify to AFCON.
Ethiopia is known for their tic-tac kind of football. Does this worry you in any way?
Yeah, even if it worries me, what are we going to do? So we have to put a side which can challenge them. Let them play their tic-tac and you have to find the solution to defeat them. That is all.
Coach, with 2 sessions now, are you satisfied with the performance of the boys ahead of tomorrow's game?
Yeah, at the moment you have considered the 2 training sessions yesterday and today, and the training, the way it has been, the boys are set. The boys are set. Everybody is focused, so we are waiting for tomorrow's game.
Coach, a final message to Ugandans back home.
Yeah, a final message to Ugandans home. Let them stand with us. Let them become a 12th player. Let's try to be together. We are here because of them.
The coaches have done their part already, so it's us to put on, to put things right. They have been preparing us well, as even you can see in our last training. Our last training has been good. The attitude, the words, boys are really focused. Just, tomorrow we shall be having those points.
The 2024 NCBA Bank Series local tour in Uganda have climaxed with action at the Park 71 Entebbe Golf Course, the best on the day one big ahead of the final leg of the NCBA Bank Series that will happen in Kenya in December. Our reporter has more details.
There was a lot at stake as 171 golfers descended upon Entebbe Club to contest the third and final leg of the 2024.
This is part of our regional NCBA series that takes into consideration or takes place in Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda. And as you may know, NCBA sponsors and supports the game of golf.
There were several subplots, including the yellow ball won by the team of Nathan Mobiru, Lester Odaga, Charles Odege and Collins Aritua, who collected 40 points. The Pigamingi of the day, Apejo and Peter Kisembo, were the respective gender nearest to the pin on the par 3 hole 6. The ladies' longest drive was by Lucia Alinda, with Collins Nuwagira bettering other men on the par 5 hole 7. The NCBA Bank staff winners were Olivia Nakuya and Clava Serumaga, with the Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Taibo the guest winner, while Gabriel Amani edged the juniors.
So it's important that we build a base. It is important that we build a base of junior amateurs, because out of the junior get people who then qualify to be professionals.
The biggest winners on the day were respective gender Group A winners Anselm Olwenyi and Bana Mosanabera. These, alongside Brian Omeda, Lillian Kowe, Emmanuel Wamala and Eva Luanga, win an all-expenses-paid trip to the final leg of the NCBA Bank Series at Kenya's Muthaiga Club in December.
This year we have changed this. Last year we only sponsored 2 people. This year we are actually sponsoring 6. So the winners in Kitante, the winners in Jinja, and the winners here will actually be sponsored by NCBA, fully paid, to participate in Muthaiga in the final that will be in Muthaiga.
Others that were rewarded on the day include Edith Wamalwa, Bridget Basima, Dennis Stella, and Richard Muchunguzi.
And that's all we had for you this hour. Do join me later on at 10 p.m. for more. Stay tuned as well for more programming on UBC TV. My name is Sharon Chomdesha with Miguel Mohammed on Sign Language.
Uganda.
Blascon, paint and win. This year, Blascon, paint and win. The cuckoo roundy. Chicho, buy paint worth 100K. Get a scratch card, SMS the code 97. Stand a chance to win instant airtime, 1 million shillings bully day there, or a share of a 3 million shillings jackpot each week. What do you want the brand new Poda Podas, tuk-tuks, and so much more? Catch the paint and win action every month.